The more clearly we can focus our attention on the wonders and realities of the universe about us, the less taste we shall have for destruction. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. In nature nothing exists alone. But man is a part of nature, and his war against nature is inevitably a war against himself. In every outthrust headland, in every curving beach, in every grain of sand there is the story of the earth. One way to open your eyes is to ask yourself, what if I had never seen this before? What if I knew I would never see it again? The edge of the sea is a strange and beautiful place. It is a wholesome and necessary thing for us to turn again to the earth and in the contemplation of her beauties to know the sense of wonder and humility. Those who dwell, as scientists or laymen, among the beauties and mysteries of the earth, are never alone or weary of life. It is not half so important to know as to feel. The question is whether any civilization can wage relentless war on life without destroying itself, and without losing the right to be called civilized. The human race is challenged more than ever before to demonstrate our mastery, not over nature but of ourselves. Only within the moment of time represented by the present century has one species, man, acquired significant power to alter the nature of the world. For the sense of smell, almost more than any other, has the power to recall memories, and it's a pity we use it so little. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night, and spring after winter. It is also an era dominated by industry, in which the right to make $1 at whatever cost is seldom challenged. Those who dwell among the beauties and mysteries of the earth are never alone or weary of life. The more clearly we can focus our attention on the wonders and realities of the universe, the less taste we shall have for destruction. Have we fallen into a mesmerized state that makes us accept as inevitable that which is inferior or detrimental, as though having lost the will or the vision to demand that which is good? It is not half so important to know as to feel. By acquiescing in an act that causes such suffering to a living creature, who among us is not diminished? Life is a miracle beyond our comprehension, and we should reverence it even where we have to struggle against it. The road we have long been traveling is deceptively easy, a smooth superhighway on which we progress with great speed, but at its end lies disaster. Drink in the beauty and wonder at the meaning of what you see. Many children delight in the small and inconspicuous. If facts are the seeds that later produce knowledge and wisdom, then the emotions and the impressions of the senses are the fertile soil in which the seeds must grow. To have risked so much in our efforts to mold nature to our satisfaction and yet to have failed in achieving our goal would indeed be the final irony. Yet this, it seems, is our situation. The responsibility of science, and the limits of technological progress. When the public protests, confronted with some obvious evidence of damaging results of pesticide applications, it is fed little tranquilizers, pills of half-truth. It is more important to pave the way for the child to want to know than to put him on a diet of facts he is not ready to assimilate. Natural beauty has a necessary place in the spiritual development of any individual or any society. Against this cosmic background, the lifespan of a particular plant or animal appears, not as drama complete in itself, but only as a brief interlude in a panorama of endless change. In the fish world, many things are told by sound wave. What if I had never seen this before? What if I knew I would never see it again? If you write what you yourself sincerely think and feel and are interested in, the chances are very high that you will interest other people as well. No witchcraft, no enemy action had silenced the rebirth of new life in this stricken world. The people had done it themselves. The sediments are a sort of epic poem of the earth. Only within the moment of time represented by the present century has one species, man, acquired significant power to alter the nature of his world. From a ball of mud taken from a bird's plumage, Charles Darwin raised 82 separate plants, belonging to 5 distinct species. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find resources of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. It is our alarming misfortune that so primitive a science has armed itself with the most modern and terrible weapon. Most of us walk unseeing through the world, unaware alike of its beauties, its wonders, and the strange and sometimes terrible intensity of the lives that are being lived about us. Carson's writing initiated a transformation in the relationship between humans and the natural world and stirred an awakening of public environmental consciousness. Here is no safe dose of a carcinogen. For the first time in the history of the world, every human being is now subjected to contact with dangerous chemicals. The ultimate answer is to use less toxic chemicals so that the public hazard from their misuse is greatly reduced. Life is a miracle beyond our comprehension, and we should reverence it even where we have to struggle against it. As Albert Schweitzer has said, man can hardly even recognize the devils of his own creation. And as life began in the sea, so each of us begins his identical life in a miniature ocean within his mother's womb. Every grain of sand or silt carried out by the rivers and deposited at sea displaces a corresponding amount of water. Such plants are weeds only to those who make a business of selling and applying chemicals. The control of nature is a phrase conceived in arrogance, born of the Neanderthal age of biology and philosophy, when it was supposed that nature exists for the convenience of man. Given time not in years but in millennia, life adjusts, and a balance has been reached. For time is the essential ingredient, but in the modern world there is no time. What sets the new synthetic insecticides is their enormous biological potency. The chemist's ingenuity in devising insecticides has long ago outrun biological knowledge of the way these poisons affect the living organism. Between low water and the flotsam and jetsam of the high tide mark, land and sea wage a never-ending conflict for possession.